There we go. We did it. Our 2 minutes of silence while we watched that. That was the longest 2 minutes ever. Hey, everyone. It's David Stringer with Insignia Group. Hello, Facebook. All right, here we are in week 500 of this crazy time that we've been in. And we thank you for joining our webcast called Are You There? Engaging customers beyond the showroom. And today we've got several gentlemen with us, industry experts who are living on the front lines of selling cars during this time. So gentlemen, welcome and thank you. And I'm going to let you introduce yourselves. So Jordy, take it away.
I'm Jordy Coho, General Manager of Beyer, Subaru in Alexandria, Virginia. Thank you for having me.
Hey guys, my name is Eliel Ramirez, General Manager here at Gillman Subaru Southwest in Houston, Texas. David, thank you for having me.
Beautiful. Well, thank you both for joining in. So we're going to dig into it as an observation of what I see from our perspective, working with dealerships all over the country. It does appear that we are starting to all tread up a hill of finding the new normal. We're seeing it on our system. We're seeing the usage of our system creep up over the last 2 weeks. And we're excited that I think now the conversation is going to start transitioning into, okay, where do we go from here? How do we establish a new normal? Those kinds of good things. So first off, some get to know each other sort of conversation. Jordy, will you tell me how long you've been in the car business and how long you've been a general manager?
I started in high school, so 24 years ago.
Jeez.
I've been a general manager for 11 years now.
You look like you're right out of high school. What? I was thinking you were going to be like, I'm 2 years out of high school here.
I want to get away, add some gravitas.
And Eliel, how long have you been in the car business?
So I've been in the car business for 15 years. Got in the car business in 2005, right out of high school as well. I've been a general manager now for 6 years. I've been with the Subaru brand now for 11 years, since 2009.
That's awesome. So you both have seen some things, and you both have now. Let's see, Eliel, you were general manager 6 years ago, so you were promoted after 08 and 09. Jordy, same time frame. Were you in the car business during that time, the 08, 09 time frame? I guess you would have been, yeah.
I was, yes.
Yeah.
So I was the GM during Cash for Clunkers.
Okay. Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a small store, a Highline store, so we didn't have a lot of it, didn't have a lot of exposure to it, but was around for that.
Yeah. And Eliel, were you in the car business? I'm an English major, so when you throw numbers at me, I get really dizzy and I can't do the math.
So I was in the car business during the Cash for Clunkers time, and what's funny about that is that was my first month in F&I in finance was the beginning of Cash for Clunkers. Wow. So I consider it a blessing in disguise because at that time, I was ready to jump in, roll up my sleeves, and I was ready to be a finance manager, right? So I thought that all of this paperwork that came along with Cash for Clunkers, I thought that was routine. So, innocently enough, I learned so after I learned in a very difficult way. So after everything blew over and that time came and went, it was easy after that.
Definitely. Well, tell me how your approach to sort of these current days and weeks have been similar to how you approached those days and weeks and how you kind of navigated through that. And Eliel, I'll start with you.
Yeah, so I mean, these are unprecedented times. I don't think that there was any or has been any training, any preparation, anything that you can go through that will get you ready and prepare you for what we've been dealing with for seems about 6 weeks now. Mm-hmm. So it's all been kind of like trial by error, and it's been kind of just as we go along, we're adapting and we're learning every single day. So it's definitely been a challenge, and we're doing everything that we can to overcome it.
Got it. Jordy, how about you? What have you done similarly in this situation that maybe you learned from that situation?
We're seeing a lot more the importance of your internet and your e-commerce just to do everything. Our floor traffic has dwindled. But it's a learning every day, and our staff gets it that we're all in uncharted territory here. So it's we just learn and try and keep pushing.
Yeah. How would you say your business has been affected so far overall? So April's numbers down 20%, 40%, 60%. We're hearing kind of all over the board, depending on where you are in the country.
So year over year, looking at last April, we're down probably 30% in sales units, about the same thing in fixed ops gross. Variable ops gross is actually down barely. So we'll probably be off for your new car and used car grosses, but not significantly. Maybe $5,000-$10,000.
Interesting. Okay, Eliel, what are you seeing?
So we're seeing a drastic change. I mean, we're in Houston. It's a big metro area. We are seeing a big impact in sales. New car sales is about 40% down. Used car sales is about 50% down this month. Fixed operations, to Jordy's point, fixed operations is really carrying the load right now, and I'd like to give credit to our service director and our parts manager, because they got ahead of this thing, before it really hit, and we really promoted the idea of a mobile experience, and a pickup and drop off and sanitation of the vehicle when we get there, sanitation of the vehicle when we give it back to you. So our fixed operations business is not suffering. I mean, we're on pace to do exactly what we did last year, and I'm proud of that. I'm proud of those guys.
Amazing. How have you approached your staffing in your sales department with the staff, or with the sales levels down? I'm sure you've had to make some adjustments. Are you now starting to kind of make those adjustments back to expecting a new normal?
So I don't think it's going to be an overnight, let's say, flip of the switch back to normalcy. When this hit in mid-March, I did have to furlough. I mean, I have a staff of 20 salespeople, and half of them I had to place on furlough because the business wasn't here, the demand wasn't here. We're starting to see light at the end of the tunnel as we're getting to end of month April. We're starting to see the BDP clicks, the leads increase. We're starting to see some floor traffic. So again, I don't think that it's going to be an overnight function where I bring everybody back, but I think that as demand calls, we're slowly going to start bringing some people back. So we're seeing some light.
Great.
We put all of our staff on staggered shifts. So our salespeople were working every other day. We had no furloughs or firings or anything like that. But everyone generally in the entire store has been working less hours, shorter shifts, things like that. And
right.
So with our technician team.
Okay, great. Excellent. But prior to this all happening, did you have much of an online presence? Did you have much of a process that involved customers seeing what your inventory was, making that part of the process? I mean, obviously you had a website, obviously you had your inventory out there, and yes, traffic goes to the website. Was that really part of your process before this all started to happen?
Yes. So prior to this, we generally derived about 50 to 53% of our deals per month off the internet. That number has risen to, I think right now, about 70% for the month of April. So we've always done very well with the internet, and we've continued to do so. But you're seeing a shift in your trafficking.
Now, is that particular with your store or with the Beyer group? Because you're part of a larger group. Is that something that you did group wide or for your store?
Our store generally does better than the others in terms of percentage of deals off the internet.
Okay.
So I know last month, most of the other stores, kind of in the 30 to 40% range. And I think last month we were at 53.
Wow.
And right now we're tracking 70. So I don't know who the other stores are tracking this month.
Yeah. Eliel, what are you seeing? Or I guess where were you before now, and then where are you moving to?
So very similar to what Jordy just pointed out. Given any routine month, let's call it, we were about 50 to 55% of our business would be internet-driven business, and we've seen that shift to where, to Jordy's point, we're seeing 75% of our business be, internet-driven, by appointment only. We've been promoting the curbside test drives and shop from your couch and get delivered to your home message on our sales and service side. So it's really it's been a time where this is going to change the industry. It's going to change how we do business, not just our industry. I think this is across the board, any industry.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jordy.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, you're seeing the things that a lot of us are doing, the pickup and deliveries for sales service. I think that's going to continue going forward.
Yeah. Okay, great. So I'm going to take a time out here for the audience that's watching. Please feel free to comment your questions or pose some questions that we'll get to towards the end of the live cast. We're going to continue to just have some discussions here, but definitely want to make sure that you have an opportunity, if you're watching, to post a question to one of our guests that we'll be able to answer that shortly. So specific to targeting customers outside of the showroom, and you said you both do very well when it comes to online presence, and even Jordy, you're talking about 50+% of your sales were normally through internet. What was it you were doing to really get to those customers, through the internet? Were you on Facebook? Were you on other social media? How did you get to them?
We always have a outreach on Facebook and SEM and things like that. But I think the main thing is the process in the store in terms of giving the customer timely, relevant information, answering their questions up front, giving them what they want, and being prompt about it. Probably much more than the marketing side.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
What we're seeing here.
So it's just after they had announced or made themselves known as a lead, your approach was to really make sure you've just given them as much information as possible to get them to keep coming down the sales process.
Exactly. I mean, you're still going to do all of your advertising, your marketing, but the main thing is that once they get there, make sure you take good care of them.
Right. Great. All right. Eliel, what were you guys doing to reach out beyond the showroom?
Beyond the showroom, internet lead comes in, and the first thing is address every customer question, address every customer concern, just really answer the questions is first and foremost. That's the most important thing. And then, not much has changed in this regard where, we have a call to action, what's the next step? If they're asking about availability, if they're asking about pricing, if they're asking about finance terms, okay, well, let's answer questions. Let's give them the VIP, the red carpet treatment, and then what's the next step? And make sure that they're not lost in the process of, what do I do from here? So digital retail.
Right. Great. Excellent. And did you have a particular platform, either one of you, do you use a particular digital retailing platform, or was your process more CRM driven?
So we have, Darwin's our widget on our website, and we've had it now for 8 months. We've seen, I think we were up 110% over the last month just in terms of the engagement through that. But generally speaking, it's been much more CRM driven.
Okay.
So for us, it's been both. It's been both CRM driven and our digital retailing platform. We're doing as best we can to raise awareness and saying, hey, this is an option for our customers. You have the ability to go on our website, to click on a vehicle display page, to submit a credit application, submit your trade information, to apply for financing, to structure your own deal, let's call it. So we are that's being promoted heavily from the digital retailing platform. But then yes, a lot of it's CRM driven with real live internet representatives and appointment coordinators.
Great. Now, to the heart of vehicle personalization, what process have you shifted from an in-store process where you had a customer that would come in, however they got there, right? They were getting there to some sort of point of either a test drive or you're actually starting to do the paperwork. What was your vehicle personalization process prior, and then what's your vehicle personalization process now?
So in the past, once we got a commitment to buy, generally you'd go over all the options with the customer and then, work on delivery times, getting the schedule, order the parts that needs be, and go from there. Nowadays, you're on the phone with them, emailing back and forth, doing it through the websites, and then we would install everything prior to delivery. And usually most deliveries are at the customer's homes now.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, same here. So when we have the customer here at the store and they're opting for an in-store experience, at this point we have a process that is honed in on just like a finance department turn, where our product specialist goes out there and we offer a full, it's part of our process where there needs to be either an acceptance or a declination of, hey, personalization of the vehicle. With the curbside test drives and at-home deliveries, it's slightly different. I mean, we're still promoting, we still give our customers the option for personalization. And at the end of it all, just because it is a thing that is not as visual, let's call it, we do give them an option to, so this is what you have available, Mr. Customer, an accessories brochure. We take those on test drives and at the time of delivery as well. So.
Okay, great. And what have you seen in terms of their overall vehicle personalization numbers, your accessory numbers? Are you holding the gross? Subaru is one brand that traditionally, I guess I'll set up my question a little bit more. Traditionally, we see that Subaru is a brand that vehicle personalization works very well in. Customers come in really preconditioned to wanting to add additional things. And it's one of the brands that we see that has some of the best add-on gross to a vehicle purchase. Are you seeing that being held through this process right now in the transition of this process, or decline or increase? I mean, how have you seen it change over the last couple of weeks?
So we've seen a bit of a decrease because we're dealing with a lot of conquest customers as well. So you're right, David. Your repeat Subaru buyer does have a certain they have a certain approach. They have this decision pre-made and saying, okay, well, we know about the active lifestyle that Subaru promotes, and we know about the bike attachments, the trailer hitches, the cargo carriers, the camping. Our conquest buyers are slightly different. They're coming from other brands where maybe vehicle personalization isn't as heavily promoted as it is through Subaru. So for the in-store customers, yes, I mean, we're seeing high penetration rates there. For the deliver at home customers, it's a bit tougher just because if they are conquest buyers, they may not be as aware.
Okay. Well, so that's why you should have your Insignia system on your website, right?
There you go.
Eliel, I'll follow up with you and I'll make sure that you've got it properly set up. Okay. And Jordy, what are you seeing?
Similarly, we are seeing probably the same vehicle that's gone down because the units have gone down, but the unit numbers very, very similar. So, all
right, I'm going to ask you to. I'm going to mute Eliel for a second. I think that's his phone. Would you say what you just said again, real quick, just to make sure we caught that?
Yeah, the average is really the same over what it had been per unit.
Okay.
So it's gone down because the units have gone down.
Right. Okay.
The average per car is about the same.
Okay, great. Awesome. Okay, good. So next question, a little bit more about how your dealership is reacting to the community. Are you guys doing any kind of special programs with the community, delivering meals, free service for frontline folks? I mean, just an opportunity to share anything that your dealership has decided to do for the community.
So we have, we do a standard Meals on Wheels route, which we still do. We offer free oil changes, tire repair, and OBD2 checkouts to any frontline worker,
nice.
Doctors, anything like that. And then we are tied in with the local hospital system to give a free loaner car to any nurse or doctor working at that hospital system.
Nice.
Give
Nice.
them a call, take it, and we'll see you in a week or two.
Yeah. Great.
David, we're getting ready to here at Gillman. We are getting ready at the beginning of May. This really hasn't been announced yet, but partnering with the Houston Food Bank and accepting donations from our community, from our customer base. Gillman's going to be donating as well, but partnering with the Houston Food Bank and making sure that their pantries are replenished and that they stay stocked.
Great. That's excellent. As we all know, dealerships are a staple of any community. They are, they do their little league sponsorships, and you guys are really there in the community, and that's great stuff. Let's talk a little bit about, your F&I departments and how they have adjusted to this, specific to how any adjustments have been made for vehicle personalization. Any changes in how your F&I group is managing this process? It sounds like there would be some slight modifications, especially with an at-home delivery.
There are. So we can do it through through Darwin and kind of get together with a customer over the phone and walk them through it. So you have a lot of phone calls and things like that. We've actually seen our numbers increase, which is a nice positive.
Yeah, very nice.
So we're taking every step to. These are sensitive times, and for these customers, identity theft, I don't think would be taking a back seat because we're in sensitive times. So we're doing our due diligence and verifying identity, FaceTiming with the customer, doing customer interviews where it goes beyond just simple red flag questions. So that's definitely changed the way that our F&I department does business, and making sure that we're covering the bases and being secure, not just for the dealership's sake, but also, for the security of our customers.
Well, so that's a great point, and to kind of talk a little bit in a roundabout way about your experience with Cash for Clunkers, the experience of how what we hear is that a lot of dealers feel that there's going to be a very nice summer sales season. That when the stay-at-home orders begin to relax, that we could see really a crush of sales through the summer, which we would all love. And you brought up a point there where you're continuing to do the due diligence of things. It's like a sentiment that's hard to talk about, which is, in these times, you still want to be aggressive in terms of being a company and being a vendor of some service that you want to make sure your customer takes all advantage of that, and not shy away from the fact that, like you just said, identity theft is very important. You need to make sure that that's part of the process. So how are you guys maintaining all of those processes as you look at maybe a Cash for Clunkers 2, I've heard that talked about, or just a regular sales season that's like none other that we've seen? I mean, it's easy. I guess my point is, it's easy to forget things when we're all just selling cars and we're running around crazy. How are you going to maintain that process as you come out of this?
So I think we're fortunate here that we've had no layoffs, so we've got our entire sales staff here or will be here. So there should be a learning curve, with hiring new people and things like that. So that'd be probably my first thing. We had ramped up because we'd seen good increases in sales over the last few years. We'd had a big staff, which we've seen less demand for now. But the good thing is they have more time to take good care of our customers and go through the process step by step and make sure they're doing everything correctly.
Great point. Excellent point.
So for us, David, I think that adaptation of new processes, and I think this is going to be the new norm. So I trust that these steps aren't going to go anywhere. We're still going to be offering at-home deliveries. We're still going to be offering curbside test drives. I really don't see this ever going away. So I think that we're going to evolve with the times. So I don't think that these processes are going to be going anywhere. I think they're here to stay.
Perfect. All right. So a little lighthearted question. Jordy, what do you drive?
I drive a Land Rover Evoque.
Woo!
I live in DC, so parking's at a premium.
And Eliel, what do you drive?
I'm in a Subaru WRX.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
A little bit tricked out, I would hope.
Oh no, I have some nice STI wheels on there, but I go from an Outback to an Ascent to a WRX, so I'm never with any one car for too long.
That's funny. That's funny. That's awesome. Well, we do have one good question here from our studio audience. The question is, sales are certainly lower in terms of quantity, yet how are you seeing CSI scores impacted? Which is a great question, actually. So CSI scores changed much?
Our CSI scores have actually increased, and in a substantial way. And I want to credit that not only to what I think is good customer service that we provide to our customers, but I'd like to credit that to where I think that it's times like these that we take a step back and say, okay, well, there are bigger things here that are at risk, and we're taking care of every single customer, and we're really going a step above and beyond, as we always should be. But I think especially during these times, it's really kind of been a focal point to make sure that we take care of every single customer that we have coming through those doors.
Awesome.
It's the same thing. We've seen significant increases on our service side and very good increases on sales as well. And it just comes down to taking good care of the customer. I think people appreciate us bringing the cars to them, both in sales and service. That always helps too.
Yeah. So let's talk about hopefully kind of a softball question as well. In these times, we've seen some stores take a very reactionary stance and, hey, we gotta strip everything down to the bare bones because we only can sell cars. You two have decided to keep vehicle personalization as part of your process and keep offering accessories to your customers. Talk to me a little bit about that thinking. Is that just lucky us and you guys continue to do that, or is that part of your overall strategy really to keep your business moving forward?
It was a conscious decision on our part, at least, to keep our business going. Is that this is one way to help give our customers what they want, and also to make sure that our parts and service teams are busy. So a lot of things we're doing is just to make sure that everyone is employed, has a job, can pay their rents, mortgages, things like that.
Absolutely.
Echoing what Jordy just said, I don't think that this pandemic is going to change the way we do business as it relates to what services we offer. I mean, we're still going to be offering every service that we can offer. And, the old saying of, you develop bad habits during good times. Well, during bad times or slow times, we really need to, dig deep and make sure that we fine tune every bit of our process. And that goes for the F&I process, our sales process, the personalization process. So, that's not going anywhere.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, great. Well, I don't see any other comments, which doesn't necessarily mean anything. And in the interest of making sure that we all are really on the front lines and helping our customers and getting out there and selling, we'll bring this to a close. Nice, tight show, 30 minutes right on the money. Gentlemen, I really appreciate you being on the show with us and your perspective and the things that you're doing in your community, as well as the things that your leadership in your stores really is a great reflection of you and your businesses and Subaru in general. So thank you very much for being on the show. And we're going to continue the web series in another 2 weeks. We're doing these things every 2 weeks. There's a comment. Kevin Warner. Thank you, Kevin, for joining in with us. I was chatting with Kevin over the instant message a little earlier. Kevin says we need more manufacturer support. So I guess I'll ask, let's use that one. Jordy and Eliel, talk about how Subaru has given you support through this time.
Subaru's been a good partner with us. I think in general, so they're giving us 4-point assistance. We can now use, get warranty money back when we give a customer a car. So we do a 30, 60,000 mile maintenance or any recall, we can charge back a loaner car and get that on the ticket via warranty. Those are two of the big things. They bought our team lunch last week. So, a lot of nice things there. been a very good partner.
Yeah, so yeah, I agree with Jordy. Subaru is a great partner to have as a manufacturer. I mean, anything from no qualifiers for sales consultant payment, on all models, to floor plan assistance, to dealer stair-step programs that are no qualifiers as well. I think they are stepping up. Subaru's stepping up in a big way and saying we want our retailers to make sure that that they're taken care of.
That's great. I'll continue the Subaru Love Fest because, right, that's the slogan now. It's all about love. I was just on the phone, Eliel, you'll know this name, Greg Carson. I was just on the phone with him yesterday. So Subaru is a great partner with Insignia. We've done a lot of work together to make sure that Subaru stores are successful with this. So yeah, we appreciate Subaru as well. So, all right. So again, thank you so much, you guys. We're going to continue the webcast again in 2 weeks, May, whatever that is, 13th, I think it is. So thank you for tuning in and watching our webcast. I'm David Stringer with Insignia Group. If you would like to learn more about vehicle personalization and how we can help your store in these times, hit us up on our Facebook page. Find our web address at insigniagroup.com, and we're here to help, and we're here to help you help your customers. So, gentlemen, thank you again, and we're going to end the live broadcast.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.